We're back. This time we are in American Truck Simulator, and in this video I'm going to be showing you everything you need to know to get your game looking absolutely incredible. Like this brand new John Ruda W900, Project Next Gen 2.0, the amazing reshades in use, the Snowymoon lighting improvements, everything you could possibly wish for, including how to install it and get your game looking absolutely next level. It's one not to be missed. Make sure you check it out right after this. So, if you watched my recent Euro Truck Simulator 2 guide in collaboration with Angus May, you may have also seen the previous guide to that one, which was the collaboration with Simuverse. And in this video, we've also got the Simuverse Reshade running here too as well. Now, this is the Simuverse PNG 2.0 Reshade. And let me just say, guys, that this brand new Project Next Gen 2.0 update, which was just released earlier today, I've hung on with this video. I was literally holding off to the last minute so I could get this included and show you this. Where we are now with this game is just absolutely incredible. I have never seen Euro Truck Simulator 2 or American Truck Simulator look as good as what they are now. But more to the point, American Truck Simulator, I think, just has that edge graphically, gameplay wise. It's always been essentially the favourite of the two for me, even though I have got more hours invested in Euro Truck Simulator 2.
Take the exit right.
Now, this incredible John Ruda W900 highway killer truck as well that we've got here is also a recent update by John Ruda.
Right.
And John Ruda, as well as the amazing many graphical modifiers of this game. Now, these are the guys that make this what it is. People like Damien from N Artworks, who's invested so much time and care in bringing to us this incredible Project Next Gen update. The amazing talents of Angus May and also Simuverse by the amazing reshades that they provide and the hours and the effort that these guys are putting into these. But let me just step outside of this truck for one moment. Now just look at these incredible sky effects. We've got this John Ruda W900 highway killer that is an amazing truck. We've got Z-Mod's engine sounds running here, and if I just put my foot down so we can hear the roar of this amazing truck, and you can see, you know, every time a gear change kicks in, you're getting that jolt there as well. And I'm also feeling that underneath me as well, because I've also got the next level racing HF8 haptic seat as well. You know, we've got the amazing Tobii Eye Tracker 5 here, so I can look around, I can roll my head, I can look completely around me. I've got complete 6 degrees of freedom with this. I can just simply look forward and gaze to the left and right, up and down. And, you know, this is just absolutely unbelievable. Now, I am a Tobii ambassador, and there are links in the video description where you can also grab yourself the incredible Tobii Eye Tracker 5 too and get a discount on it, courtesy of Tobii. And again, any purchase obviously helps the channel. All of these elements combined, as well as obviously the things that I have like button boxes and of course the Moser wheel and, you know, all these other things, the Moser indicator stalks here, make these two games, American Truck Simulator and Euro Truck Simulator 2, the most captivating games that I think you can simply get at the moment. They are just absolutely amazing. This is a 10-year-old game, guys, but look at this again. Look at this. It's just absolutely unbelievable. Now, of course, out of the box, SCS do a fantastic job of updating these games. We're obviously now on version 1.59. But as well as this out of the box element, you know, to be able to add these extra elements to it to make it everything you want it to be is truly incredible. So in this video, I'm going to be showing you, as always, things that other YouTubers just simply do not want to share with you. My personal settings for the Snowymoon lighting improvements. I'm going to be showing you the Simuverse Reshade, how to install that. Now, of course, remember, you can grab the Dynamic Lighting version 5 Reshade that Simuverse kindly provided from my previous guide that I will leave linked at the end of this one. But I will also be leaving a link to Simuverse Reshades as well, because for a matter of £12 in UK money, you can grab a pack of absolutely amazing reshades from them, and it completely transforms the game along with the Snowymoon lighting improvements. What we're going to do now, we're going to be diving over to have a look at the actual Project Next Gen 2.0 weather update that's part of this new Project Next Gen update, and we're going to be showing you the volumetric effects that are included as part of that and see how it compares to the actual good weather that we can see obviously working here now. So of course we now have heavy rain conditions, and this is of course the brand new Project Next Gen 2.0 rain overhaul. Now there are modifications that do very similar things to this. We've also shown in the previous video the Euro Truck Simulator 2 Angus May Project Ultimate Weather, which of course gave us rain like this, but this is very much akin to some other modifications I've showed previously, the better raindrops modification that is from the Steam Workshop. But what I do like about this particular rain effect is of course the spread pattern of the rain on the windscreen of course is quite random. The actual effects from the particle effects from the trucks going past here you can see, but more importantly what N Artworks have also done with this brand new rain updates that we can see here is, if I look just to the left there, you can see that the actual rain reflectiveness on the roads as well is much more accurate than what we've seen previously. There was actually previously issues with PNG, whereas we weren't actually seeing the actual puddle effects on the actual roads correctly, and now I'm pleased to say that that's been rectified, as I'm hoping you can see if we just zoom in there, just to that area I'm just looking at here. Again, it's mind-blowing really what can be achieved and what is being done with this game, and also Euro Truck Simulator 2 as well. Now remember, this is brand new as of today, the 7th of May, so if you do obviously purchase Project Next Gen, you obviously can take advantage of obviously not only the incredible volumetric effects that have obviously been included with this recent update, but also we've got this brand new weather mod as well, which is also included as part of that. And I think this looks really incredible, guys. It really does. It's actually really realistic. It's very nice and spread in terms of a pattern. You can see obviously even on the corner element when the windscreen wiper just sweeps it to the left there. We've also got that realistic aspect there where it just spreads to the left there. And if I look to the window just on the left there, you can see obviously that it's running down as it would do in real life too. But more importantly, finally we've got that issue resolved where we've got the actual puddles on the actual road element correct now. And I must say I'm not a big fan of actually driving in bad weather conditions in Euro Truck Simulator 2 or American Truck Simulator, but you know, this is actually quite captivating and looks absolutely incredible. So testament to N Artworks and Project Next Gen, Damien, who is obviously the creator of this modification. Absolutely amazing. Of course, if you already own Project Next Gen, you can just simply download the update by going back onto the download source and obviously then re-authenticating it as you would have done previously. But again, the link is in the video description if you want to download the Project Next Gen modification. And as said, it completely transforms the game, not only in the actual textures, the road surfaces, the building textures, everything. It brings it essentially up to modern day standards with this. But as well as that, with Snowymoon, it also has a custom Snowymoon setting config that you can simply drop into your root folder of your game too. But in this particular example, I'm using my own custom lighting settings. I'm going to be sharing those with you so you can replicate those too. Now let's just dive straight into the guide, guys, and show you how to install Snowymoon, how to install Reshade. The reshades that I'm using here, again, I'll show you that. And also I'll show you my custom lighting settings too, and also I'll show you how to install Project Next Gen as well. So in this first section of the video, we're going to be taking a look at how to install Reshade and how to install the Simuverse Dynamic Lighting version 5. Once again, a big thank you to Simuverse, and links are in the video description to Simuverse. And once you've had the joy of sampling this, make sure you head over there and grab the full pack from them. If you download the folder from the video description using the link and then unwrap it using WinRAR or an equivalent, you'll see that the folder contains a number of different files. The one that we're interested in first of all is the Reshade version 6.50. If we double click on this, you'll see that that then opens. It will prompt you that a build of Reshade is outdated. Ignore that message. Reshade at 6.50 is the correct version to use with American Truck Simulator and Euro Truck Simulator 2. Unfortunately, newer versions won't work. We now need to show the Reshade application installer where American Truck Simulator is installed on our PC. If we scroll down through the list of applications, and you will see American Truck Simulator relatively close to the top. And if we then select American Truck Simulator, and it should then also populate where American Truck Simulator is installed on our PC. If it doesn't appear in here, then you will need to click on Browse and you need to point it to where the application is installed. Once we're happy that that's correct, we then click on Next, and it will then bring up this window asking for the rendering API. We are selecting DirectX 10, 11, and 12. If we select the box there and click on Next, it will then ask us what effects we want to install. If we then simply uncheck all and check all, and then we are then going to add the actual Reshade application or the .ini file, which in this instance is the Dynamic Lighting version 5 supplied by Simuverse. If we click on Browse, on my PC, I've got it installed here, and then you will see that then populates in the box just here. If we click on Next and uncheck all and check all again, it will then install all the effects required. In addition to those, it will install others because we may want to add additional Simuverse reshades in the future, which of course you will once you've had the chance to try how amazing this is. This may take some time, and once it's completed, you will then see a message on screen showing it's been successful. You then need to launch American Truck Simulator again, and when you launch for the first time, you will see a scrolling bar along the top indicating that Reshade is installing. Once that's completed, if you then press the Home button on the keyboard, you will then see that the Reshade application has not only installed, but it's added also the Simuverse Dynamic Lighting version 5 in the top just here. You'll also see all the relevant effects that have also included within the actual shader itself. If you are using any other reshades, all you would simply do is select any of the other reshades from the packs that you have downloaded. You'll add them into a separate folder in the game root directory, and you can simply flip between them. In this instance, just to give you an example, I'm going to select another Simuverse reshade. I'm going to select the Nostalgia Cinematic preset, and you'll see on the right hand side that the actual view has changed here. We're just going to revert back to the original one that we are using now, which is the Dynamic Lighting preset. In this instance, we're including the Dynamic Lighting version 5 as an example for you to use. We're going to now show you that in the game. And then we launch back into the game and we check that everything has installed correctly, which it has, and Reshade is installed and the game looks absolutely incredible. So this step again is optional. The actual Simuverse reshades look fantastic with or without Snowymoon lighting improvements, but in my view it adds an extra dimension, and you will also need to disable HDR because it just doesn't unfortunately work with the Snowymoon lighting improvements again. So you can see here that we have the paid version, which is the lighting improvements. It's £1 a month to subscribe to the Patreon, and you can also pay up front for an annual subscription, I believe, as well. If we then scroll down, once we are logged in with our license key, and we get to the section just here on the Snowymoon webpage, again, that's linked in the video description, you will see that there are a couple of different versions available. For the 1.58 American Truck Simulator and Euro Truck Simulator 2, we need to download the 2.38 preview version, and I will now show you how to install that to work alongside Reshade as well. Once we've opened up the Snowymoon download, you'll see it includes two files which are both DLL files. One is named dinput8.dll, the other one is named dxgi.dll. Now this is important to take a note of this because Reshade also shares the same file name, which is the dxgi.dll. Many users struggle to install Snowymoon because it will show an incompatibility when you add these files into the root folder of the game because it's trying to share the same structure with the Reshade application. I'm now going to show you ways you can actually bypass that. So if you recall from moments ago when we installed Reshade, we pointed it to the directory path where American Truck Simulator was installed. I have American Truck Simulator installed on my C drive, and it's under Program Files x86 under Steam, Steam Apps, Common. You'll then see that we have access to that Steam folder structure, which is just in here. If we double click on American Truck Simulator, and when we double click on the bin folder, and then on the WinX64, Once we're inside here, you'll see the actual main file structure of the game. The one we're interested in at the moment is, remember I mentioned that Snowymoon contains a DXGI DLL file. This is actually also replicated by Reshade. We can already see that Reshade has installed the application extension within here already. What we need to do is we need to actually rename this to a super extension so that it can actually share the same file structure along with the Snowymoon application. We then simply need to right click on the dxgi.dll, and if we then select properties, and you can see that the actual file name is here. We simply need to change the dxgi, which is the first part of this, by deleting the first part there, and we need to now change this to d3d11. You will then see that that is now d3d11.dll. We then simply need to click on OK. Once that's been successful, you'll see that that file dxgi has now been renamed to d3d11. This is a super extension of the DirectX subdirectory and will allow both files to coexist together. Once we've done this, we can then simply click on the Snowymoon folder that we had a moment ago. Now within the Snowymoon folder, we had the two file names, which were dinput8dll and dxgi.dll. And you can see now that they will happily coexist because the dxgi DLL has now been renamed to a super extension. If we simply select and highlight in the actual Snowymoon folder here and drag those into the main directory root folder of the American Truck Simulator, you'll now see that the dxgi.dll, the actual dinput8 as well, is already in there, and it now shares it with the d3dll, so all of those files can now happily coexist together. We now launch back into the game to make sure that everything is working correctly together. We can open up the Reshade by clicking on the home button, and we can see that Reshade is working successfully and that everything is installed there correctly. We then need to press the end button on the keyboard, and that will then bring up the Snowymoon lighting improvements. You can see here that this is version 1.58, and you can also see that we have a number of lighting presets. So we're now going to take a look at the Project Next Gen 2.0 Spring Update on American Truck Simulator. The first thing we need to do is head over to the N-Artworks website, and there's links in the video description where you can go and grab Project Next Gen 2.0. If you already have Project Next Gen, one of the previous versions, you can go to your original download source and you can download the update, which will be free. Once you've downloaded and extracted the files, you'll see there are various files within. The first one we're looking at is the main mod files. You can see here there are a series of mod files that need to be dragged and dropped into the Documents folder of American Truck Simulator. To do this, simply highlight them and then copy. And then we need to go to Documents, American Truck Simulator. Then we need to go to Mod, and then we can simply drop those files in. You can see here I already have the files in, so I'm not going to do that on this occasion. We can then exit out of there, go back to the folder again. And then you can see the second one that we have is the Reshade presets. These are the actual Reshade presets that we need to add into for actually be able to view them within Reshade itself. I'm not going to be using these in this video, but I'll show you how to add them. We then simply once again right click on here. We can copy. We then go once again to the C directory. And then we need to go to Program Files x86. Go to Steam, Steam Apps, Common, American Truck Simulator, and then we go to the bin, WinX64. You can see here that I've got the downloaded reshades folder, which is where I keep all of my reshades in here, and I'm going to right click and I'm going to paste those into there, and I'm going to replace them on this occasion, but I've already got them in there, which is why it's prompting me to do so. Then I'm going to go back to the folder again. You can see here the next one is the config file. So on this configuration file, what this actually does is it will actually set the Snowymoon lighting improvement variables automatically for you. I'm not going to use that in this video. I'll show you my own personal settings which you may want to use. However, if you want to actually use the default Project Next Gen 2.0 Snowymoon settings, how to do this is you would then select this and copy again, and then we need to go to the directory where your game is installed. In this case on mine it's a C drive, Program Files x86, then we need to go to Steam, and then once again to Steam Apps, and then Common, and then American Truck Simulator, and we need to go to the bin folder, WinX64. What we would then do is we would then simply right click and paste. So I'm not going to do that because what it would then do is overwrite my settings which I've set as default, which I'm going to show you now. So once you launch back into American Truck Simulator, you'll see on the homepage here that you've got a section which is labelled as mods. We're all probably more than familiar with this by now, but we're just going to run through how to install Project Next Gen and get it in the correct load order. Click on the mods tab, we'll then take you through to the mod manager. And you can see on the right hand side here that we've got a number of modifications already installed. I've already been through in the previous guides the mod load order, but I'm just going to put the suggested mod load order on screen for you, which obviously will help you try to understand the correct load order for where everything should be. There are different variations of this, but I've been playing American Truck Simulator and also Euro Truck Simulator 2 for a number of years. I've never had any problems with the load order that I'm showing on screen. And remember that the mod providers often include a suggested load order such as Pista and also Ruda as well, so make sure obviously that you pay special attention if you do purchase any additional trucks or modifications from any of the providers. First of all, we've got the sound mods on top, and we've got a number of different ones here from Z mods as well, ones that are shown actually within the video so far. And there are some free ones available, such as the Slav Jerry's Engine Sound Collection as well, which are available on the Steam Workshop. But scrolling down, the ones that we're interested in are the graphical modifications at this stage. The first one you'll see here is one that I'm using in addition to Project Next Gen, which is a Weather 3.7. Now, this is available from the Steam Workshop, and what this actually does is it adds extra volumetric skybox effects, and it works in conjunction with Project Next Gen. Many people tell you to remove the actual Project Next Gen weather component and actually replace it with Weather 3.7. That's not necessary, and it will work in conjunction with it quite happily, and I've been testing this now for a period of time, and there's been no issues with this recent Project Next Gen update too. You can see here we've got one from a previous Project Next Gen upgrade, which is the Street Lamps edition, and I've still got that in there, and I've got that sitting above everything else. The ones that we're interested in here are obviously the new files that we have added into the mod folder on the document side of things, and you can see here that we've got the correct load order as shown within the files that we've taken from the Project Next Gen installation. So first of all, sitting on top, we've got the rain element. We've then got the spring element underneath here. We've got this new foggy weather one, which I haven't shown in the video and I haven't actually tested as of yet, but that's another element that I haven't seen this scenario playing out in the game as of yet. We've got the main base weather, and then we've got the actual base file. This is the larger file, and this obviously is the one that is the most important one, but that needs to sit at the bottom there. I've then got some additional ones from the actual Steam Workshop as well. So we've got the grass 3.9 4K. We've got the trees improved 4K as well, and these are once again are from the Steam Workshop. And again, in the video description, you'll see there is a list of my Steam Workshop favorites. You can simply click on that and visit my Steam Workshop favorites homepage, and you can then click on all the relevant Steam Workshop modifications you'd like to add as well. I'm not going to go into any of the other ones here. You can see I've got a number of Pista modifications just down here. And what I was saying about the Pista 389, which obviously is a custom truck, you can see here there is a specific load order that it must go in, and it obviously includes a number of trailers here as well. And the actual modified provider, in this case Pista, will actually show you that specific load order again. And then as per the guide that I'm showing you on screen as to where things sit, everything on American Truck Simulator here is in this particular order, and you can see there's a large number of modifications installed that I'm using. It's actually quite a light number in here. I actually have on Euro Truck Simulator 2 over 300 modifications, so I've got around 150 on here, which is relatively light in comparison. But then again, if we look down at the bottom here, you can see a number of these are simply just skins for all the various different trucks that I have installed. When we launch back into American Truck Simulator, you can see here that we have all our graphical modifications up and running. The first thing we need to do is we need to click on Home, and you can see here that we're using the Simuverse PNG preset version 2. By clicking then on the End key, you can see that will then bring up the Snowymoon lighting improvements page just here. We have installed here Snowymoon, the latest version, and you can see that I'm using the lighting preset D in this instance. What I'm going to do is I'm going to show you each of the sections within here. So first of all, if we look at the anti-aliasing clarity methods, or the anti-aliasing the motion blur, I'm going to also screenshot these and actually add these into the actual file that's downloadable in the video description. It contains the Snowymoon Dynamic Lighting version 5, which of course is free. But remember, the version that I'm using within the actual video itself is actually version 2, and it's the actual PNG version. In rendering lighting, you can see here that the settings are as set here, and again these will be available in the video description within the downloadable file. And then also the colours and tone map, which is the one that you are most interested in this instance, and this will set the effects to the same level as what I have playing out in this video. And if we go back onto the final one, which is then objects, and we then have surfaces, and then we then have roads, and we also then finally have vegetation. And again, I'm going to also screenshot these and leave these in the downloadable file in the video description to make it easier to access these yourself. Or alternatively, you can pause the video and you can also take note of these settings there. What you need to do, for example, in the rendering and lighting, and also in the colours and tone map section, you need to actually set these values yourself by simply sliding right and left to make them match the ones that I'm using here. If you don't want to use this, you can use the custom config file, which is being provided by Project NextGen. You can simply drop that in, as I've shown you in the previous sections. Once you've done all of that, your game will look just as well as my one does here. And of course, if you do want to obviously obtain the amazing John Ruda W900 Highway Killer, which is spotted here, you can obviously obtain that from a John Ruda website, and I'll leave a link in the video description where you can purchase this as well. So guys, as always, thank you very much for watching, and there are some links to some other guys just up here, so you can also check those out too, including the most recent one, which is a collaboration with Angus May and Project Ultimate, which was on Euro Truck Simulator 2. And speaking of which, news travels fast in terms of my guides. If you want to check out just to the side just here, you'll see another video which was actually by another YouTuber who actually did an amazing Quest 3 virtual reality guide, and it actually showed you actually within the cabin, as you'll see here, my video playing actually on the screen within the truck itself, which looks absolutely incredible. And there are links to his YouTube channel in the video description again, so if you want to check his videos out, you can also do so. But as always, until next time guys, a like, subscribe and share is appreciated and obviously helps the channel. And remember, if you do want to get yourself an exclusive discount on the Tobii Eye Tracker 5, of course any purchases will grab you a discount and also help the channel too, to help me bring you more great guides like this one. But until next time, take care and I'll see you in the next guide.